If you look, for example, in the financial sectors, we're already starting to see scams in the financial world through the use of deep fake audio and visual. We're even seeing governments using deep fake communications against other entities. For example, China just went on the attack with a propaganda engine across video, written word, and audio in Taiwan to try to separate Taiwan and America, to try to chill Taiwan as it relates to capitalism.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Today we are with Marc Beckman again. Marc, interesting background, professor at NYU, New Yorker through and through. We're talking about the Take It Down Act, which honestly, until you mentioned it to me, I didn't even realize there was such a thing, but it's rare. Congress is set to pass this, has passed it, almost unanimously. You got to wonder who voted against it. Can you just explain what it is?
I can, sure. Well, Kerry, first, thanks for having me on the show. It's great to see you again. I appreciate it. To give you some context, the Take It Down Act has now been passed in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. It's a bipartisan effort with Senators Cruz and Klobuchar. And to give you some backstory on it, there was a 15-year-old girl named Elliston Berry. The name might ring a bell because she actually sat next to the First Lady, Melania Trump, in her box at the President's State of the Union. And Elliston was the victim of deep fake pornography. She woke up one morning and found that the mean kids in her school, allegedly her friends, had superimposed an image of her head on top of pornography and then disseminated that across social media. When her parents woke up, they were just totally shocked. And you can imagine her whole life fell apart, Kerry. So what did she do? Like any other parent, what do they do? Like any other parent, they reached out to the social media companies, Google, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and beyond, and they failed. They had no help. So all of a sudden, this thing is going viral. It's going worldwide, and their poor 15-year-old daughter is just crushed. Her life is destroyed. So with that, Klobuchar and Cruz stood up and said, you know what, it's time for us to protect our next generation of children and grandchildren. So they put together this act, as you mentioned, the Take It Down Act. And basically what it does is it holds these social media platforms responsible for what they refer to, the term of art is non-consensual intimate imagery. NCII is the acronym. Yep, non-consensual intimate imagery. And essentially what happens now is if an individual finds that they've been the victim of deep fake porn, and they contact the social media platforms have a time period, I think it's 48 hours, to pull it down, to take it off of their platform. And if they fail to do so, they end up getting fined in a major, major way. So this thing is through Congress, and it looks like President Trump is ready to sign this into binding legislation, binding law in the next 15 days.
That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing that it happened that quickly,
Yeah, it's a horrific situation, though. And it's really groundbreaking because to date, big tech has been, really left alone in many different ways, as you know, as it relates to legislation. People have been complaining about it for a long time. But now, look, these companies are going to be held accountable.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, right?
I think it's a good thing. I was analyzing, Kerry, I'm curious what you think about this, actually. I was analyzing the ecosystem. So now you have three components. You have the family at home. You have the corporations with a fiduciary duty to drive revenue to their shareholders, of course, and then the government. All of those elements could protect our children and our grandchildren from deepfake porn.
Right.
But who will be the best at it?
Yeah, well, I think that answer is pretty obvious, right?
I think so too. I think it's going to be a combined effort, though. I think like it's got to start at the home. We're going to have to start to apply morals and ethics as it relates to artificial intelligence in this type of new world where videos they look hyper realistic now.
Yeah.
Audio, I know, like with my agency, DMA United, we're already using synthetic voice generation, AI created voice that is a perfect replica of our clients. So we're living in a world now where our children carry, like you and I grew up in a world where seeing or hearing is believing. But the next generation, they need to be trained at home where if you see it and you hear it, do not believe it, verify it.
Question everything. Maybe that's a good thing because humanity has been asleep for so long, just accepting narratives and whatever garbage that the media spews out, and institutions, etc., believing things that just aren't true. Whether it's about people, things, places, America, you name it. It's all about narratives. It's not about truth. So maybe this is a first step in the direction of truth.
I think so, but it's a slippery slope here. Also, the Take It Down Act. Some people are concerned about your First Amendment right. I know you're an attorney, freedom of speech, right? Because I wonder how these big social media platforms are going to manage the massive amount of complaints. How many are true? How many are fake? Do people have some kind of a hidden agenda? So there could be a slippery slope here where there's a restriction on First Amendment freedom of speech.
Yeah, I guess that's theoretically possible there. So, but they're probably not going to stop with this bill because it's going to have holes in it. We're going to need follow-ups on this, right?
That's correct. And I believe that already the senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, is already creating something that's also in this lane of technology, artificial intelligence, and deep fakes.
Mm-hmm. So we can look forward to more, in other words, right?
Absolutely. It's on the way. More government.
Okay. Well, hey, we don't, it's kind of inescapable because this is really where you need the government the most, where innocent people's rights are getting trampled upon and infringed upon, right? So you really need government here. In this instance, even if you're a hardcore libertarian, even if you're Rand Paul, right? You got to be wondering, huh?
Yeah, I think so. The topic of deep fakes is going to become more and more prevalent. Like as you and I develop a dialogue, I get into this a little bit with my book, Some Future Day, how AI is going to change everything. If you look, for example, in the financial sectors, we're already starting to see scams in the financial world through the use of deep fake audio and visual. We're even seeing governments using deep fake communications against other entities. For example, China just went on the attack with a propaganda engine across video, written word, and audio in Taiwan to try to separate Taiwan and America, to try to chill Taiwan as it relates to capitalism. So the concept of deep fakes is going to become more and more in our lives. We're going to hear about it more and more over the next few years.
Sounds about right, Sounds about right. And it's no surprises here. I mean, all this kind of stuff is inevitable with technology. It's just an example of how technology outruns government, outruns everything, and people are scrambling to try to keep up with it,
That's for sure. That's for sure.
All right. So what's next on your activity list here? You got anything interesting happening here?
Well, we certainly do. As a little preview, it's cool that you're asking me that, Kerry. So, obviously the book, I'll hold it up if you don't mind, Some Future Day, has been doing great. It hit #1 on Amazon for artificial intelligence and actually sold out. It's sold out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It's back in stock now.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And my agency is about to launch a global initiative on the audiobook side of things where we actually use artificial intelligence with the most high profile person. I can't disclose it yet. I know that's terrible to say. I'm embarrassed to say that. I hate when people do that. But within the next 3 weeks or so, we're going to come out with the most high profile, fully powered AI voice audiobook. And
Wow.
it's going to be, it's pretty wild. So my whole agency, everybody's like all hands on deck. We're analyzing every single word. It's going to make ripples throughout, probably throughout the world.
I love it, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to come
That's
back.
amazing. Yeah. When it comes out, man, I want to see it for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you will.
Definitely. All right. Just tell us, Marc, where do we find you? How do we connect with you on the web?
Thanks. So I am on all social media platforms, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and it's at Marc Beckman, MarcBeckman. And again, the book is Some Future Day, How AI is Going to Change Everything. And people can grab it today on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, any major bookseller.
All right. Excellent. Hey, well, if you got a question for Marc or myself, shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. And you find a link to Marc's site in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. If you go there, click the link, take you right to him. While you're there, please sign up for our free newsletter. Got one going out again shortly. And Marc, pleasure. We will talk to you again soon when that new AI voice comes out. Sounds fascinating.
Thanks, Kerry.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.